Hello, everyone, and thank you for taking the time to view this presentation. The objective of this study was to develop a necrotic enteritis model capable of producing industry-relevant flock mortality levels. These have been reported to fall between 10 and 40%, so ideally, the model developed here would fall within the middle of that range. To accomplish this, combinations of different strains of Eimeria maxima, Clostridium perfringens, and select gram-negative bacteria were used in order to induce NE and observe effects on body weight gain and mortality. Briefly, treatments included an uninoculated control, EMM6 and CPTXAM, Salmonella typhimurium, EM guelph and CPTXAM, E. coli LG, EMM6 and CPTXAM, EM guelph and CP641, and finally, EM guelph and CP Brenda B. Each pen contained 15 birds with 3 replicate pens per treatment for a total of 45 birds per treatment. On day of hatch, all birds were weighed and chicks in groups 3 and 4 received oral inoculations of their respective gram-negative bacteria. On day 14, all birds were weighed prior to the oral inoculation with respective Eimeria maxima strains. On days 19 through 22, treatment respective strains of Clostridium perfringens were mixed into the feed of groups 2 through 6 each morning as the final steps of any induction. As such, day 19 and onward, all mortalities were necropsy and verified as either NE positive or negative. Final body weights were taken on day 22, and then birds were grown out 4 more days in order to monitor for any additional mortalities. When observing body weight gain over the course of the experiment, all treatment groups significantly reduced weight gain relative to the uninoculated control when analyzed via t-test. The same trend was observed during the NE period, with the greatest weight gain observed when EM guelph was combined with either Brenda B or CP641. The influence of treatment on weight gain is better visualized here, where the body weight gain percentage of each treatment has been portrayed relative to the body weight gain percentage of the uninoculated control. All groups were analyzed individually against the control and tested significant via t-test. Again, the strongest effect on body weight was observed for the EM guelph and CP641 and Brenda B combinations. But also of note is that the added day of hatch inoculation with E. coli resulted in a greater relative weight suppression than just EMM6 and CPTX alone. Mortality data shows that mortality predominantly occurred during the NE period, and then these values were used to calculate the percent of NE-related mortality relative to the initial 45 birds per treatment, and then analyzed against the uninoculated control via chi-squared. Again, the effect of introducing a pathogenic E. coli on day of hatch is seen here to result in almost 7% mortality as opposed to 2% with just EMM6 and CPTX alone. And finally, the strongest and only significant increase in mortality was observed for the EM guelph and CP641 combination, which was able to produce a mortality level in the middle of the targeted 10 to 40% range. In conclusion, the organism selected for NE models makes a difference as there is strain-to-strain variation and therefore varying effects upon the intestinal environment and potential subsequent NE infection. As such, these model variables can influence the severity of NE on performance as seen by the body weight gain and mortality data presented here. Another important observation is that early exposure to select gram-negative bacteria may influence the severity of NE by altering the intestinal environment into one that favors CP growth and overproliferation, and thus NE onset. Finally, characterization of these models is a valuable tool in that having a baseline for performance and mortality helps to provide a reference for future evaluations of NE prophylactics. With that, I would like to thank everyone who was a part of this experiment at OSU, as well as our sponsors at Biomin. Please see the corresponding poster to revisit any of this information at your own leisure, and thank you for listening. I hope to answer all of your questions via chat.